Okay, good evening, everyone. Again, as
Okay.
individuals come in, we will get them in the meeting.
Anything for
My
dinner?
name is Henry Rondon. I'm the CIAC liaison for ice
No.
hockey. We ask that as you come into the meeting, please remain muted. Again, the meeting is being recorded, so if there's anything in the meeting that somebody may miss, coaches, feel free to show it to your team. And it will be posted on the CIAC Ice Hockey website in very shortly. So again, as you come in the meeting, remain muted. Any questions that you may have, please put them in the chat, and we will answer them as best as possible. So again, good evening, everyone. Again, Henry Rondon, Ice Hockey CIAC Liaison. Welcome to, again, 25-26 season for CIAC Ice Hockey. Again, it is a pleasure to have everyone here. The gentleman that you see in front of us will address you shortly with some issues and things that we just want to address moving into the season. But let me just say on behalf of the CIAC staff, again, we really wish everyone good luck into the coming year. It's just a reminder of what a privilege it is to play high school hockey, and that we really want everyone to have the best experience possible as you go out there. So we're really looking forward to seeing you out there on the ice, and wish you nothing but the best of luck. With that being said, I'd like to introduce Principal of Brookfield High School, Chair of our Ice Hockey Committee, Mark Landa, who's going to make a few remarks.
Thanks, Henry. Just welcome everybody, coaches, captains, everybody out there for joining us tonight as we get ready to start a new season. Just a couple things to remind you, as also a building principal and not just the chair of the high school hockey committee. This is about academics, right? We focus on an education-based athletic program here. So I think I'd be remiss as a principal if I didn't remind everybody to make sure to keep those grades up. Understand the end of that second quarter happens right around mid-season. So keep those grades up. We want to make sure everybody stays eligible because the focus is really education, and this is just a great vehicle. You'll hear about high school hockey and how great it is, and you just have a wonderful opportunity. You're about to get ready to go into preseason relatively soon. December 1st, I think, is the first day of practice. So that's coming. We're really excited. And for those captains, congratulations on being here and being elected or chosen to be a leader of your team. And I'd remind you to lead by example. Your teammates will follow the example that you set on the ice and off the ice. It's important that you do that. And remember that officials, who you're going to hear from a little bit about some of the expectations we have for the upcoming season. Remember to respect officials. They are there. We can't have games without them. And we truly appreciate all the effort they put in to make sure that we can have games. High school hockey, like I said, is a special place. I've seen kids over the last couple of years that have been playing with club teams or other teams that decided, you know what, I want to come back and play high school hockey, because there is something to be said for coming to a high school hockey game with a crowd full of people as opposed to paying for your family and friends, 4 people on a Saturday afternoon at 2:30 when you can really have a great crowd. So congratulations to all the captains. Welcome to all the coaches, all the new ones and returning ones that we've seen. I wish everybody a great season, and we're certainly looking forward to seeing you at Quinnipiac for the semifinals and the finals, and random places throughout the year too. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. All right, this time we're going to move over to.
Hey, what's up, pal?
We're going to move over
Nobody
to
is here yet.
a meeting, and I will turn it over to Steve Murphy-Frigitelli, who is going to go over some of our rules. Ready?
Good evening, everyone. Rule changes wise, it's a light year. There's a PowerPoint that I'm going to go over. Are you sure you're ready? Yeah. Henry's going to share it. The first one is, don't laugh at it. It's just electronic devices shall not be used by team personnel or spectators to communicate with players on the ice or goalkeepers during play. Also, no players or goalkeepers shall wear any audio or video. So we don't want anybody making their own videos while they're on the ice. We don't want any of that. We go on in this way. God forbid you said something's not proper, you'd get caught also as well.
You can say stupid.
Yeah. The next one doesn't really pertain to any of you. They're just replaced it to be linesperson or linespeople. A puck on the outside of the goal netting below the crossbar shall be considered in play. Obviously, it's under 4 feet. A puck resting on top of the net between the crossbar and the goal frame shall be considered unplayable, resulting in a median. The rationale is basically on top of the net creates a problematic scenario. You don't want you banging on top of the net. Rule change wise, that's basically it. There was some other stuff that was talked about, but there wasn't enough consensus to make change. And the referee can stop play as well. Points of emphasis: sportsmanship, health, and safety. Points of emphasis, same thing. Safety, stay off numbers, stay off backs. If you're going to check somebody, it's fine, but you're not checking somebody to hurt somebody. Make sure that you also have all your safety equipment on, your neck guards, your mouthpieces, your chin straps are all done. Your J clips on your helmet are on. It's all great to look cool on the ice, but we want you to go and come the same way you got there. You don't really need to know about game management from the officials. And the rest of the stuff on the PowerPoint really doesn't pertain to players. That's that part of it. Any questions on that right now? There probably won't be. All right. The next thing that I'm going to make sure that we do, we've been doing this for the past, I think 5 or 6 years. Pre-game meetings, the referees, when they get to the rink, when we'll go in each locker room, we'll talk to the players and coaches. Coaches, please make sure that you go into the locker room with the referees. I don't want the referees in there by themselves, just in case there's any assumption of something being said. And this doesn't have to be, a long conversation. It's hello, how you doing? How's everybody doing? It's just the points of emphasis. And plus, it's also a good thing that this way the coaches actually know that the referees are there, because a lot of times the ref rooms are on the different spots in the rink. If there's anything that the coaches would like to see more of, just send a note and we'll add that, we'll take that suggestion in. And another thing is, please make sure that these happen before every game. If for some reason you have referees that don't do this, and they're going to say that the coaches didn't want to have it, that's baloney. Please make sure this happens some way. They should be able to get in that room a half hour before the game starts and make sure everybody's good. So if you see this not happening, you can contact me and we'll go over that as well. Also, if in situations where there are a situation in a game that you're not happy about, you're more than welcome to contact me or anybody else on our board. Just understand that I'm not going to get back to you that day. I'm going to wait a day until I hear from my officials, so I have everybody's information. So if it's on a Wednesday night, you want to leave me an email or a voicemail or a text, don't plan on me getting back to you until Thursday, so I have the whole situation and stories from whomever. Reporting, counting penalties. We're going to try to update the sheet at the end of the game to make sure there's no penalties on there that are less than 2 minutes. But what we mean by counting penalties, a penalty that's a 5-minute major or more, those are the ones you have to report on that form when you report your score. And this way we'll know if it's a DQ or if it's just counting towards your majors and misconducts during the season. Any questions on that? I think last year there was, I think, a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I think for some reason some coaches were reporting that. That doesn't count. 5 and above.
There's one thing in there. Henry, last year we talked about not being able to put the score in with the penalty. Did that not happen because of a technical issue? Okay. So coaches, please remember to put those in. We did track down a lot of those throughout last year at the end of the year.
We all know everybody likes to have a second or third uniform, or a third or fourth uniform, which is fine. You guys, it's fantastic you have them. First thing is you have to let Henry or Joe know, or Mark know that you have one. And the second thing is it must conform to the rule book. At least 8-inch numbers on the back and 4-inch. You must have the shoulder numbers, 4-inch shoulder numbers. They have to have numbers on it, just like the normal uniform you wear. Everything has to be the same, numbers, sizes, everything else. And just please do not wear dark uniforms at home, unless you tell the other team that's coming that they're bringing white. Because we've had games where we've had blue and black or too dark uniforms, and it's just not an easy place. If you're going to wear a third jersey, there's no issues with it, but just communicate to everybody so everybody knows that there's one team's wearing a dark colored shirt and another team is wearing a light colored shirt. And if, like I said, if you're going to have a third jersey, just let us know ahead of time so we can keep track of all that as well. We understand it's for different fundraisers and stuff like that. It's great you have them, but just to make it easier that everybody's on the same page. Incomplete games. We had a couple games last year where if a game does not finish 2 periods, it's considered incomplete. That's for the Zamboni issue, hole in the boards, something happens. What we need to do is we've told our referees if something like that happens to contact me so we can write everything down. So the coaches contact one of the 4 of us. This way we can write everything down, write the time it ended, write everything on the game sheet so you know where you're picking it up from the next time when you finish it. If it goes 2 periods and this stuff happens in the 3rd period, it's a game. But if it's under two periods, it's not considered complete, and then we have to fix it from there. But as soon as we know about it, then we can be helpful along that situation as well. All right. Your schedules. I know the arbiter does a great job keeping the schedules up to date, but if you have something that's like a last minute time change or whatever, if everybody can see who the officials are on the game, if you could contact them to make sure that they're aware if it went from, if it was a 7 o'clock game and all of a sudden now it's 4 o'clock, just try to contact everybody. Everybody can see the information on there. Each schedule up to date. And we can, my information, my cell phone and my email, we'll put on the, somewhere on the homepage. You guys have it if you need. And if you also, if anybody needs to contact their scheduler, there's 3 different schedulers. One for the southern end of the state, one for the central, and one for the northern. So if you're not sure who that person is, contact me as well. I can fire away my cell phone number now, 203-215-5464 if you need to text me right away. If not, my email will be on the homepage for that and the issues as well. I know last year was the first year that neck guards were a rule in the rule book, where that if you did not have them and didn't properly get off the ice on time, you could get a penalty for it. Let's try to keep that up and make sure that doesn't happen again this year. And please make sure you're wearing a neck guard, not a piece of cloth, not an Under Armour shirt, because Under Armour does not make a neck guard. We saw games last year where guys were skating around the ice wearing an Under Armour shirt and considering that was their neck guard. Some players had it underneath, some didn't. Just make it easy. Any questions?
I think the only question I see on the chat is any more talk about using game sheets, Anthony. If we don't answer the question completely, just elaborate a little more on the chat. Just so that everyone knows, again, since we're collecting penalties with our online system, so you do need to use your game sheet, of course, because it's yours. How you keep score, how you do penalties. CIAC, though, will not be supplying game sheets because, again, we are not collecting them. So, again, you are reporting the penalties that we only need. Again, if you have a game and there is no penalty that counts towards the ones for the state tournament, all you're going to do is you're going to hit no penalty. We'll go over that in a bit, but we will not be supplying the game sheets. That will be on you guys to get the game sheets because we are not collecting them.
Henry, I should have been clear. Game Sheets is an online scoring app used in youth hockey where it's live penalty reporting, live scores, all that. I know a bunch of the hockey guys know what it is, and Murph and I have talked about it in the past.
Sure.
And it's been on our table. Obviously, we finally we're not handing in game sheets anymore, which is a disaster for us. That's going to be the next step. There it is. We are talking about it in our meetings, and hopefully that will happen soon. It would make life easier for a lot of people. So hopefully that is down the road.
Yeah, we would agree with that. Thank you. Okay. All right. So next up will be Joe Morrell, our tournament director.
Guys, first of all, we have 140 people on the Zoom, 142 now. Thank you guys for showing up. It is important. We feel it's important, and I know you guys do as well. The finals and the semifinals, as Mark said, will be turned back to Quinnipiac this year. We're excited to have that there. The finals will not be played during the weekend. They're back on the weekdays. We played with it. We thought would do better in attendance, and actually the weekdays did better than the weekends. Correct, Henry?
Correct.
So we are going back. We had a lot more people there on the weekends, on the weekdays, excuse me. So the ice hockey packet is out. Coaches, please review the ice hockey packet. There's a lot of information. We have made some changes in there. We had a survey. You guys asked for some changes. Some of those changes we're still talking about. Some of them have already been made, and you can see them in the packet, but you got to look at the packet to see it. Don't just use that packet at the end of the year. Henry already said we will not be providing game sheets, so you're going to have to get your own game sheets moving forward. Okay, that's going to be really, really important. Henry, is there a place they can get them that you got them from that we can let them know?
If they contact Judy, she can.
Okay, so just call the CIAC Judy, and she can tell you where you can get those game sheets right away. One of the because it happened last year, one of the new changes in tiebreakers, when teams are tied at the end of the year in ranking, so two teams have the same amount of points. The first tiebreaker was a combination of wins. Then it was head-to-head. We switched that. The first tiebreaker, if the two teams played head-to-head, will be the first tiebreaker to break a tie. Okay, and then it'll go down to most wins and most wins and ties, all that kind of stuff. But that was a change. You guys can read that in the packet as well. We did update it. Out-of-state games. This is also another change. Last year, if you played in a regular season game, there was one standard. If you played in a tournament, there was another standard. Not anymore. Whatever that game is played at the school you go to, that's the final score. That they do shootouts, that's what it is. If they just play dead regulation, that's what it is. So there's no more jumping around, no matter if it's a regular season or if it's a tournament that you go to. Whatever the result is, that's the result. The other thing we are discussing, and it did come up through a few people, out-of-state points. So right now we automatically give bonus points for out-of-state games. We're going to take this. We have groups of guys in Division I, Division II, and Division III that are going to do this year and just see if we can get the points in time. Other states may finish later. They may not be done. Are they going to be at 40%? So we're just going to run a test this year. It's not going to happen in ours. We're just running a test to see if this could be manageable. If not, we're going to have to come up with some other games. So those are really, really important. I know Murph had said already about please staying on top of the penalty forms. That was, we're trying to make this easier for everybody. But when we have to track down penalty forms the last day because they're not on the computer and I'm calling people, please make sure you stay on top of those. And you guys that do play out-of-state games, we do try to track down. So if you guys can help us out, if I call you, if you just find out what division the team is you're playing. If you're playing a team from Rhode Island, are they a Division I team, Division II team, Division III team? It just helps me when we do the rankings at the end of the year. So guys, if I don't know, I may call you directly and say, hey, you played a team from New York. What division are they in? We do a pretty good job while tracking them down, but sometimes we do get stuck.
They got to self-report those out-of-state games because we don't know the penalties.
Yeah, so again, self-reporting those again, they're not going to pop up. Actually, you can still put them in on the computer, though, if they're majors and stuff like that. So it makes it easy. Again, looking forward to a great year when we get the new business. I do have some more, but right now I'm good. Thanks, guys.
No.
You want to go right to new business?
Go.
All right. So again, thank you to all the coaches that participated in our survey last year. We did have a survey. We are concerned about the state of high school hockey, and I think everybody is. We had 51 of 52 coaches took part in a survey. The survey had three basic parts. Basically, we were looking at what came out of the survey is that dual rostering was the big one. Right now, we're only looking at ninth graders. 75% of the coaches last year were in favor of some type of dual rostering, which is a great number. Our committee came back. We decided to go with just the ninth graders. So this came from a proposal put up by the SEC because it has to come from a commissioner. So that was one part of it. Marketing our game was another part that we were going to try to do a much better job marketing high school hockey. And we're asking the seniors to put out stuff that's positive about high school hockey. Talk to the youth hockey players about high school hockey. You guys are still here. You know what it's like to play in those games, those big games when the place is packed. You have a lot of student body there. Everybody's going crazy. It's a great feeling. You can't get that in many other places besides high school hockey. Captains, you need to relay that to your fellow classmates, get people talking on your TikToks and everything positive. We don't want anything negative, but again, what it's like to be in high school hockey, and we're maybe use some of that stuff in our marketing as well here. So it is important. And the other part of the questionnaire or the from Al was reaching out to some youth hockey programs and picking their brains, and we will be doing that as well later. One thing that I don't think many people were aware of, and I wasn't either, is that if you have a ninth grader, that ninth grader can practice with you as long as your school approves it, and they don't play in a JV or varsity game, they can still practice with you. Again, you have to have school permission, and even if they a JV game, then they're done. That's considered now. You have to choose one. So again, probably a lot of coaches didn't know the freshman player can do that, or any player can do that. So it's one thing that we're going to look into this year on a survey. Sal's going to help us out with a survey. Knowing that, does that change your opinion on dual rostering? Again, a lot of schools, ADs or principals might say, no, you can't do that. It's insurance purposes. But we're going to need to know, our committee wants to know, does that change your thoughts on the entire process of dual rostering? We're looking to let the ninth graders go. Are you still in favor of that? Sal's going to send out a survey basically asking you that. Now, in light of some new information, are you still in favor of dual rostering? I think it's important that we do something, because I think our game, it's a great game, but I think the high school game is declining every year in numbers. So we don't want to sit back and wait. We want to be proactive and jump on that. Also for coaches, if you don't mind helping us out, Matt Kelly is doing his dissertation. He was a coach at Wilton last year. He's now moved into New Hampshire. He's an assistant principal. He's doing a big survey. At the end of Sal's survey, there's going to be a survey. If you can please answer his survey as well. I think it's going to be important. He's also going to ask some coaches to work one-on-one with, just to discuss them, interview them, maybe a couple from each division. He's basically doing the same thing that we've been looking into, high school hockey in general, and where the needs are, and what's going on with the decline, because youth hockey numbers are growing and our numbers aren't growing, which is a concern. So coaches, please take the time and fill out that as well. I think that's going to be really useful information to us. Okay. Anybody have any questions before we turn over? Again, that's going to be from Matt Kelly. You'll see that at the end of Sal's survey. If you guys could just click the link and answer those questions as well.
All right. So reiterate, ninth graders can practice this year, but not dual roster.
Absolutely.
So basically, just so that you understand CIAC rules. So eligibility begins when you play in a CIAC game. It doesn't matter. It could be a freshman, JV, or varsity game. All right. So I'll repeat it again. Eligibility begins when you play in a game. So basically, any student in your high school that attends your school can practice with a team, and nothing has happened or no rule has been broken or anything of that sort until you play in a game. So in this instance, if you have a freshman and they are just practicing with you the whole year and doesn't play in a game at any level, your school has done nothing wrong. As Joe said, basically, it's really up to your school's administration whether or not they want to allow that. So again, you're not breaking the CIAC rule. We're not here telling you have to do it. Basically, what it is just making you aware, if you didn't know it, that eligibility begins when you play your first game. So if a kid plays for an outside team but wants to practice with you, it's really up to you as a school and district whether or not you want to allow it, but you are doing nothing wrong until the player, the student athlete, plays in the game.
Dual rostering will not happen this year. Absolutely not. We're looking hopefully for the following year if it does go through. There's no dual rostering this year.
Is there a
Hopefully that
timeline, say a kid does practice and I don't know, say January he ends up not wanting to play for his club team and playing for the high
Yeah,
school
I think-
team?
I
So,
believe it.
so
Go
what
ahead.
happens, yeah, so what happens is I think the best way to say it is if a kid starts to practice you the first day, goes through practice, hasn't done anything with the club, and now all of a sudden wants to play. The minute he starts to practice with that outside team, that pretty much renders him ineligible to play in a game.
Thank you.
You got it.
Anything else?
Okay.
Again, please be looking out for the surveys. Sal, we'll be sending it out. We just need your input. Does that change anything, or do you think we still continue looking to dual roster in the future for ninth graders only? Again, this is just the first step of this process. It had to come from a league, which we got it from the SEC. It's now at the hockey committee. Hockey committee actually has some concerns. They're meeting with some outside club hockey tonight, and then we'll move on. If they're in favor, they pass it on to the next group, and there's 3 or 4 groups it has to get through. So it is definitely a process.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Next, we'll have Sal Fallo from the Coaches Association give some info about the Coaches Association, or from the association, better said. So, Sal, go ahead, unmute.
Thank
And
you.
the floor is yours.
Okay. Like Joe says, this survey will be put out by the High School Coaches Association, which I'll get with Joe and we can put it together and then we can send it out to everybody. First thing is, hello, everyone. Nice to see everybody along with our new coaches and captains. I wanted to mention some of the things our association, Connecticut High School Coaches Association, does for our sport. We will again have the Boys and Girls Player of the Week, the Hobie Baker High School Character Award, and our All-State Dinner for boys and girls on April 19th at the AquaTurf. A reminder that you must be a member of our association to participate in all the things that we do. And you can always check with me if you are a member or not. I mean, I'll have the ongoing list and I can let you know. Now, with our All-Stars, our Coaches Association Hockey Committee, which comprises of myself, Dave Harakowitz, Ralph Russo, and Mac Budd. And we're excited to announce a change in the All-Star format at the end of the season that we feel will be an outstanding opportunity for our top players to showcase their talent against 2 highly competitive Massachusetts All-Star teams. Our new All-Star format for both the boys and girls will be called the Connecticut versus Massachusetts High School All-Star Showcase, sponsored by our association, Connecticut High School Coaches Association. At the end of the season, selected junior and senior boys and girls will be invited to participate in the All-Star Games versus Massachusetts, which will be played on April 12th. So it doesn't conflict with nationals, with any tournaments, as far as we know. We had research on it, and this was the best date, which is a Sunday. And the games will be played at the Wonderland of Ice in Bridgeport. There will be 2 boys All-Star games against Massachusetts and 1 girls All-Star game against Massachusetts. We will ask the winning championship head coaches in Division 1, 2, and 3, and the runner-up head coaches to be our honorary coaches for the 2 boys games. That will be 3 coaches on each bench for the boys game. The the Coaches Association Committee will be emailing coaches from the teams of the players that will be invited to ask for cell phone numbers of those players. It is very important that the coaches respond in a timely manner to a representative of our committee so that we can contact the player and invite them. There is no fee to play in these games. It'll be juniors and seniors, but you have to remember that if you have any major or misconduct for fighting, abuse of official, intent to injure, you are not eligible at all. And I get the sheet from Murph at the end of the finals, so we do have a record of it. So I just want to make sure that we know that. In addition to the All-Star games, we are excited to announce that there will be a college fair where CAS-CIAC coaches, selected junior coaches, and prep school coaches will be invited to attend and watch the games. In addition, there will be an area set up at the rink for these coaches to provide information about their school, along with the opportunity to talk to any interested players. Our committee feels this will be an outstanding event that will highlight the top boys and girl players in Connecticut and Massachusetts, and the only event in Connecticut that offers a Connecticut versus Massachusetts competition. And in closing, I want to reiterate that our committee and I are here to support all coaches. If you have any questions or concerns, you can certainly get in contact with me and I will get you an answer. That's really it, guys. And thank you for coming and showing up. Thank you, Joe, Henry, and Matt.
Thank you.
Again, if you have any other questions, please put them in the chat. As we're coming here to the end, just a few other small items to put out there. Number one, again, we really think that our CIAC Ice Hockey Committee here in Connecticut is great. It's a great tight community between the coaches, the players, the officials. It's just a fantastic community to watch, a dynamic. This is why when we got our DQ report on coaches, it was fantastic because you guys have such a good relationship. So I applaud you, coaches, for what you're doing for the student athlete. I know it's a lot of work, a lot of time that you're putting in, and I know that you do it for the love of the sport. So please continue to do that. To the students, my final message to you is to be a leader, be a student leader. You know, be someone that when you're out on the ice, when you're off the ice, when you're in the locker room, that your teammates can look up to. And it's really your responsibility to take your teammates and elevate them, make them leaders, make them understand that they know that this is a great game and that the game should continue to grow. And they really should be the ones who are going to be the next leaders. So again, the way that you carry yourself in school, in the locker room, on the ice, makes a big difference. So again, coaches, I applaud you. Players, go out there, have a great season. I really can't wait to see you guys on the ice. So with that being said, let me go back to the chat. Murph, quick question. Do major penalties in a JV game go against the varsity team?
It depends if the player that gets the major penalty, if the next game he's going to play is on the varsity roster. If he's just a JV player, it stays aside, then you have to self-enforce that he doesn't play in the next JV game. A lot of teams bring their third and fourth lines down to play in JV games, and if one of those players gets a major penalty that would incur him missing a game, and the next game they have is a varsity game, that counts.
But I think he might be asking, does it count as one of your majors? Do you have a JV major? Does it count as one of your 5, 6, or you know what I mean?
Your total
majors that you can sit out.
No, it doesn't go against the varsity team, but the kid cannot play the next game. It doesn't go against.
Good question.
Any other questions out there? Okay. Very
Hockey
good.
Committee, though, we're going to come back on. We'll take a little break. Hockey committee. We'll start our meeting at 7:00 with the club hockey guys. Appreciate you guys coming back on. Thank you.
All right, and just a reminder that the meeting has been recorded and the meeting will be posted on the ice hockey page on the CIAC website. Again, thank you for everyone. If you have any other questions after this, please feel free to email any one of us. You can email me and I can direct the question to whoever it needs to go to. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.